All right. Well, welcome to Reclaiming Your Health with Exercise. My name is Des Gibbs. I'm a holistic personal trainer in Huntington, West Virginia. And that's what I do all day, every day: eat, breathe, and live all things exercise. But I've also been able to understand that there's some other things that are really important with that too. So for the sake of this conversation today, we're going to go over what's most important to you when it comes to reclaiming your health, how you can find the best health possible working with what we got. Sometimes it's just where we are in life, but how can we help ourselves even in that position? How we can start exercising or improve on what you're already doing. And I'll discuss a few things that I think can give you great bang for your buck when it comes to additional help or a little something extra if you think you need it. So my part will take, hopefully, because I did not test it, about 20 minutes. And you should have some actionable steps to implement today. That was my goal with this whole class. Let's see. And if anything I mention, as far as like products are concerned, you don't obviously have to buy anything today, but if you see anything you like, I can help you order that. All right. So I know there's a few people live and probably a few on Facebook. If you have any interest in sharing, you don't have to, but I do want to personalize this, especially for those who are here live. Do you have any reservations as far as exercising is concerned, or what would be your goals? You can share it if you like, and I can kind of tailor this to you, or we can just go with what I had. All right. Yes. Jessica, I think I have to ask you to unmute.
Um, my reservations are hurting myself because I do manual labor for a living. So if I were to hurt myself, then I can't work. So that's
Very
my biggest reservation. So I think I err too much on the side of caution in that department. So
That's a great and totally reasonable caution to have. And
okay.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm sure other people can relate as well. Of course, not wanting to hurt themselves. And I'll say that's actually probably one of the top 5 things I hear when people come in for personal training of like, I just don't want to hurt myself, you know? So, Jackie, did you have something or?
So it's just getting started. I am having trouble just getting started. It is so weird. Doesn't seem like it was this hard in the past.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. Also, the hard part. It's like stepping foot in there or making it become a habit is one of the hardest things. Sometimes I get a lot of people who are like they've started 10 times and then, and
Hmm.
we kind of fall off. Life gets busy or something not normal in our routine totally throws us off. And then it's like feeling like you're starting all over again. So I totally get it. Bobby, we're just sharing a few things. I'm also live on Facebook, just so you know. We're just sharing a few things. If we have any reservations or like, I want to personalize this. So if you have anything specific about exercise or things you might like be a little nervous about, I can kind of address that as well if you want to share or not. Can you hear me? Maybe not. Can you hear me, Bobby? Maybe she's trying to figure it out. Okay. All right. So we'll roll with what we got. I will definitely include those and hopefully we'll kind of get on a roll with this. But I'd like you two to both think about those who shared, or maybe you're all thinking about something about how reaching your goal or being able to do what you want to do would impact your life in the long term. I think sometimes if we think about the end goal, it puts us in a better state to begin, to start, and to continue with something because it's important. But sometimes if we don't think about what that end goal is or how it will impact our life, it makes it a little easier to kind of not. So think about that, and let's see where we get through this conversation. So I have to say that why should we be concerned with our health? It's because it affects everything we do. Everything. Our family life, our ability to travel or go on vacation, our desire to even want to do anything. If we are unhealthy, spending time at the doctor, that's time is money too. So money on medication and spending time not doing what we really want to do. Typically, families or people turn to focusing on their health and speaking with someone like myself when they recognize the need that for some help from someone like myself with the knowledge maybe, or accountability. Sometimes they have the knowledge, but you just need to be accountable to someone. Oftentimes they're maybe unable to get good results from other methods or products that they're using. And you just, like I said before, with Jackie's comment, just kind of hitting a wall. Often I've also heard people just wanting more energy to do the things they love, maybe not have to worry about the baggage of like the extra weight or not having the stamina, because it's not always about, how we're looking, but also just the ability to keep going. Or maybe they just want to increase their overall quality of life for themselves and their family so they can really do what they want to do. But there is a way to improve these issues. It is possible. Even if you failed many times before, it's definitely possible. So I like to talk about the pillars of healthy living. If you've come to one of these classes before, you may have heard me touch on all or one of these. Obviously, for the sake of this conversation, we're going to be focusing on exercise, but all 5 of these things are important, and I use the acronym DRESS. Over the next 4 weeks, I'll be discussing each of them on Tuesday nights at 7. So if you or someone you know needs to come to one of those classes, then let me know, and I'll make sure that you see the information for that as well. So exercise. Exercise is a miracle drug. It really is. Research shows that if we exercise often enough, our medical costs will be lower, our sleep will be better, our mood improves. Not only that, but we'll be more productive. Our risk developing some chronic diseases will drop. About half of Americans meet the recommended, the average recommendation for aerobic physical activity. So that means the other half ain't getting there. And then on top of that, only 20% also do strength training, which is extremely important. In the US, we spend a lot of our time in inactivity. We're watching TV for hours. We sit at our desks for work. Then we go out to eat and sit, and then we come home and we sit. And it's not just something that adults do. Children now, while playing video game, I mean, we are just not moving as much as we used to, or that our bodies should be how we were created. So that's really damaging to our health long term. But what is the importance of regular exercise? Now we see the problems if we don't do that, but regular physical activity is crucial for health and well-being. Your cardiovascular health, muscle strength, flexibility, mental state, and well-being. It is huge in also reducing the risk of chronic diseases, things like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. It also has the positive effects on our mood, stress reduction, and cognitive function. So I suggest that everyone try to find an enjoyable form of exercise that fits your preference for lifestyle. So this could be a variety of things: walking, running, cycling, strength training, Zumba, gardening, the physical activity, right? Don't always hold yourself in a box of like going to the gym. Maybe you decide you want to learn how to play pickleball or golf, or there's just so many things you can consider. So think outside the box and try to find something that you think you are going to enjoy and see if it works for you. I also find that it's extremely important to set realistic goals, which we'll touch on later, and gradually increase the duration and intensity of exercise over time, right? We do not want to go balls to the walls in the first week thinking you're going to work out for an hour, 5 days, 5 days in a row, because as Jessica mentioned, that's a problem and a fear that we could overexert and end up hurting ourselves. So I like to liken it to like a dial on a radio or something, slowly turning up the volume. We don't go to 10 all immediately, right? Another suggestion is to incorporate both cardiovascular and strength training exercises into a balanced fitness routine. So, you may love Zumba, that's great, but also picking up some hand weights while you're doing it, or going out and doing a variety of things as far as adding weight resistance and strength training will be crucial, extremely important. Let me just check. I have something in the chat. Hey. Hey, Cammie. So what happens when we don't move? All those things I mentioned at first, it's just our knees crack, our back doesn't feel good. That sedentary lifestyle can have a very negative effect on us. So we're kind of weighing the two options here, right? We know what exercise or lack of exercise does, and now we see what exercise can do, okay? Two very important things when we think about, is it even worth it to start? Is it important? Keep that in mind. So now I wanted to move on to a few myth-busting exercise lies, because I see these every single day and it drives me crazy. But let's go through them. Let's just go through them. Okay, number one, cardio is the best way to lose weight. It's just not true. I don't really have anything else to say besides the fact that it's just not true. Cardiovascular is excellent. Cardio is excellent for your cardiovascular health, like your heart health, and it does burn calories. But solely relying on cardio can actually lead to reduction in your muscle loss. So it's really important to make sure you're incorporating that strength training to help build the muscle mass while you are doing cardio. This increases your metabolic rate, leading to more effective long-term weight loss. So your metabolic rate is how your metabolism is burning. The more muscle you have, the more calories you'll expend. Kind of key. It's like, great. That's actually what we want, is to be burning calories all day. It's what our body naturally does, but if we could burn more, it's always better, right? So myth number 2, lifting weights will make women bulky. I think this was a scare tactic men told us just to be. They don't want to come up against it. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So, again, reality, just not true. Women have lower levels of testosterone compared to men, which makes it pretty difficult to gain a significant amount of bulk. If you see a woman and you're like, that's gross, I don't want to look like that, you probably don't quite understand. Well, you may think that, whatever, but you probably don't understand how much effort she truly put in to get to that amount of muscle mass. It's an extreme amount of effort for a woman's body and or AKA testosterone use to get our female frame to put on that much muscle. A lot of exercising and strength training, a ton of food and protein, and not ever cheating on your diet to really look like that. So just kind of keep that in mind. The importance of strength training is that it helps in toning or building your muscles. So we are talking about muscle building. Women have become so much more familiar or comfortable saying the word tone. Muscle building, toning, same thing. But this improves your overall body composition. And strength training increases or improves your strength without necessarily adding bulk. So that bulky look is just something totally different. I could do a whole class just on that. So we'll save that for another time. This one I think is very interesting because almost everyone says it when they come to our first meeting. A pound of fat weighs more than a pound of muscle. No. A pound is a pound, right? Whether it's fat or muscle, we are talking about weight measurements. The key difference here lies in the density of what we're talking about. And I've always talked about buying these. I just need to get one. I need a example of what a pound of fat looks like versus a pound of muscle, because muscle tissue is much denser and more compact. Therefore, it takes up less space and it's smooth. So it's just going to take up this much space, just for the example of this. Whereas a pound of fat is going to be, you know, wider and just take up more space. So they both weigh a pound, but they look totally different. So keep that in mind whenever you've heard that. A pound is a pound. But having enough muscle mass, the importance of that is that it contributes again to that higher metabolic rate because it requires more energy to maintain. So that density difference is why individuals may look leaner and more toned, even though they've gained muscle and lost fat. Because a lot of times it's like, oh, the scale isn't moving, or maybe even I gained a pound, but my pants are big. It's because you've lost fat, which takes up more space, and maybe you've probably gained muscle, right? So that is a huge difference that you actually want to take advantage of. Who cares about the number on the scale? What we care about is how we feel and look, if that's important to you. All right, number 4, that you need to do hours of exercise daily for effective weight loss. Not true. Quality and consistency of your workouts are more important than the duration. Short, intense workouts, such as, if you so choose, again, we may need to have a separate meeting about this, but like the high intensity interval training or HIIT training can be highly effective for fat loss and cardiovascular health. You know, true HIIT training is oftentimes less than 20 minutes. So don't have anyone tell you that you have to work out an hour a day. That's absolutely not true, but maybe you just need to adjust how you're working out. So anything is better than nothing, but definitely we can adjust the types of exercise to make sure you're getting, again, the most bang for your buck. These workouts also provide some benefits, those HIIT type trainings for cardiovascular health, and they give you like a extra caloric burn after the workout is finished. Sometimes people call it after burn. And who doesn't want that, to burn calories when you're not working out? So that's always a great option. Even though it's hard when you're doing it, it can be really great. And last but not least, sweating means you're burning more calories. Absolutely not true. If I never had to sweat another day in my life, I wouldn't care, because sweating is just your body's way of cooling down. It does not directly correlate with the number of calories burned. So a calorie burned is determined by the intensity and duration of exercise, right? Not by how much you sweat. So that could be a variety of things. Factors like the environment, being in a hot room. We just had something like that open here in Huntington. Hot Works, I think is the name of it. Individual differences, the amount of hydration you have in your body, all affect how much you sweat. But it doesn't make a difference on your calorie burn at all. So focusing on exercise intensity and ensuring you're working out within maybe a certain heart, like a target heart range, can provide a much better measure of an effective workout. Again, keeping in mind hydration is crucial, especially when sweating or it's hot outside. So you really need to make sure that you're actually hydrating your body, and especially if you're sweating it out as well. All right, so those were our 5 myth-busting exercise lies. Now we're going to talk about the actionable steps. These are specific things that I need you to do. Just stick with me through these steps as I explain them. So, first things first, you really need to understand your why. So your why is not your goal. Like, your goal is, I want to lose weight. I want to gain muscle. I need to improve. I need this for my mental health or something like that. That is your goal, but your why is deeper than that. Kind of like those things I said at the beginning, why people turn to someone like myself in the first place. Like, you want to feel better for your family. You want to have the stamina to go on a walk on the beach on your next vacation, as far as you feel like going without thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it back. So like that, those are your why. Why do you even want to begin exercising or improve your exercising? Those are very important things. Step 2, start with SMART goals. So SMART is an acronym for specific. You must be specific for what you want, because if we just throw out a goal of I want to start exercising or I want to lose weight, well, how much? Well, when? Well, what type of exercises do you want to do? It can go from small little things, which are great, to huge big things, which can be great. But if we write them down and we actually set a specific goal, it can change everything. We also want it to be measurable. So you want to go to the gym more. How much more? Are we talking 2 days a week? Are we talking 5 days a week? Measurable. Also, it needs to be achievable. Just let's all be honest. We are all busy and we all have things going on. So don't tell me you're going to go 7 days a week, please. Because life gets in the way and we are busy. Give yourself some grace. And let's start with 3 days a week out of a 7-day week. Open up your calendar and see where you can fit in some time to do 30, 20 to 30, even 20 minutes, anything. Just fit in the time to do it, right? So make it achievable. Make it relevant. Does it help you reach your why, right? Make sure it actually applies to what our goal even is or what we're talking about. And then set a time bounding amount on it, or a time. If we just say like, I don't know, I want to lose some weight, it'll happen at some point. It's going to be December 31st and you'll be thinking about what you didn't do all year. So that happens every year to everyone. Let's put in a time bound measurement on it and see what you can do in the next 4 weeks. And then we think about it, that 12-week goal. And then we have a 5-month goal, right? And time bound it so you can be a little more focused. All right. Step 2, we want to start with manageable exercises. If you have not done any type of exercising, you really should start slow and or with a professional, because they will be watching you to make sure that you don't hurt yourself. So if like absolutely you've done nothing and maybe you're not going to be with a professional, things like walking, stretching, maybe following something on YouTube, or going to your gym and taking a class is a great start. And then over time, like that dial on the radio, increase the intensity and duration of your workouts slowly to avoid injury. Step 3, my recommendation would be aiming for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week. Now, hear me out, because it can be different. So maybe you can't go to the gym 5 days a week. That's fine. But can you go for a vigorous walk? I know it's hot, so make sure you go at the right time. But on the days that you can't take the time to go to the gym, can you go on a very quick walk to make sure we're in that moderate space on the other days that you can't get there? Or maybe you decide to do a few things in your home that can constitute as exercise, right? So there's a whole lot of things we can think about, and it doesn't have to be just going to the gym as exercise. And then at the same time, if you miss a day, don't get discouraged. Notice I said most days of the week. There's 7 days in a week, so we want to be in the majority, all right? It's not a big deal if you miss some days. Just get back on track the next day. It's the best thing you can do. Number 4, step 4 would be consider working with a personal trainer or joining a fitness group for guidance and motivation. You can engage with a community or a workout buddy for support and accountability. really. I mean, I think this is probably the game changer that helps people get over that hump or the not knowing what they should do. So I really, even though that's step 4, I feel like it might be the most valuable because a personal trainer or someone else, a friend, a group, an accountability group that I've set those up for clients before, can make or break your long-term success of continuing on and reaching your SMART goal that you're going to set up. All right. So those are your action steps. You really need to think about that. Take your time, take a screenshot, a picture of it, and work on that. It's going to take you a little bit, probably 20, maybe 30 minutes to think about how you can incorporate that into your schedule. All right. But very, very important to get that going. Calisthenics, meaning Cami wants to know, what do I think about calisthenics? Like what's calisthenics? I don't know.
But using your own body weight.
Oh, body weight exercises are great. You do not need to go to the gym. I've done plenty of home workouts all the time because your body weight, if you put it in a certain position, like a squat, you are using strength, right? Or even a band. Bands are probably the best tool you could have. They can go in a suitcase, they could be in your car. I mean, they're so easy to have. And TRX is great. That's your body weight. That is strength training. Don't think of it as just picking up a dumbbell. Anything where you are causing extra stress on the muscle, I would consider strength training. So walking up a steep incline, that incline is putting extra pressure because of gravity in the incline on your legs. Technically strength training, right? I mean, it all kind of makes it obvious. Same thing with the push-up, right? You're pushing your body up. You don't need 2 dumbbells to do that. You can do the same thing, right? And there's all kinds of modifications. If you're like, I'm not doing a push-up, you could do a wall push-up. You could do, there's all kinds of things. So don't think, I think sometimes, and we also cop out, we call them girl push-ups. They're not girl push-ups. I've seen a lot of men do really bad push-ups. So, it's modifying. That's most important. Just make sure we modify to our level. It's not, you're not copping out or not doing it right because we don't have the strength to do a full push-up. The whole point is that we want to work our muscles, right? So if our muscles are in a position that we need to do it on our knees, then do it on your knees. It's for you, not anybody else, right? So really important to consider that. That's body weight exercises are great. All right, so now I have some recommendations, a few new things I found and a few things that I think are really great that I want to share with you all. Not all needing to be taken, just want to give you some options and also trying to be mindful of our time. So I might run through this kind of quickly, but keeping in mind some supplementation. Supplementation are exactly that, to supplement the lifestyle changes and other things you improve in your life. So don't take supplements and think that is going to get you snatched. You're going to lose weight. You're going to feel like $1 billion when you had Taco Bell for lunch, because it's not going to happen. I'd rather you not spend a dime on supplements and get a trainer, buy some healthier food, do a meal prep, buy a meal prep plan, right? That is going to push you much further. But I always like to include supplements because it can also be a really simple way to kind of get the needle over that way a little further, right? So very important that you choose high quality supplements from a reputable brand. doTERRA and Just Ingredients are the 2 that I've focused on in here. Read the labels, make sure you can pronounce all, if not most of them. And then you can consult with someone that you trust, a holistic practitioner, maybe your personal trainer, someone like that, to really give you a well-rounded approach to wellness. You don't need to be on anything and everything, right? So with these supplements, just wanted to briefly touch on them because I do think they're really valuable and great. Lion's mane can boost your immunity and your metabolism. I believe these are a powder. I've taken them in a capsule, but I'm going to order these. The sale starts tomorrow, and I do have a code It's 20% off starting tomorrow. And then I have a code for an extra 10% off if you want to try that. Ashwagandha, a lot of people are really familiar with ashwagandha, helps balance and regulate hormonal health, but also mental health, stress, which is involved heavily with hormonal health. So maybe we should all take a dose of ashwagandha every day. And then maca root. So maca root is like a little hidden gem that I don't think is talked about enough. Improves muscle gain, boosts your energy, improves your performance and endurance, increases libido, a whole lot of things. So it's really, really great. I actually really like it. Those are some things that you might think about sprinkling in. But I will say consistent use is important with all of these. It's not something you can just kind of take as you maybe feel like you need it. You're going to get better results if you take them consistently. Supplementation as far as just ingredients is concerned, I do really like their protein powder. Most people don't get enough protein in their diet. I know we're kind of talking about nutrition now, but don't get enough protein in their diet. But this is very important for what you want to do: build muscle, tone, have more energy. You need to be eating protein. You should be taking in, the recommendation is 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per body weight in pounds. So if you weigh 160 pounds, you're looking at like 140 to 160 pounds of or grams of protein, right? Most meals you should be shooting for around 30. That's going to give you about 90 grams of protein, and then snacks throughout. I would really focus on the 30 grams per meal and then try to get comfortable with that, and then you can widen out. But a really easy way to add it in is adding in a protein shake. So I like just ingredients because they actually have a lot of really good flavors. There's like salted caramel, snickerdoodle, lemon swish. There's like a, which I haven't tried it yet. What is it? It's like tropical mango or something. I don't know. It sounds amazing, but I really like it. But again, the ingredients, just no pun intended, just look at the ingredients because it's actually, they're pretty great. And then I also put a pre-workout on here. They have a caffeine free. This one is with caffeine. There's also a pre-workout from doTERRA. Well, I take it as a pre-workout or like my afternoon slump. doTERRA has one. Can't think of the name right now. Meta Power. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Mito 2 Max Meta Power. Yeah.
Mito 2 Max Meta Power. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm getting there. Yeah. But that's a great one too, in a capsule. And I think this pre-workout is more like in a powder that you would put in a drink. So it's flavored if that's your preference. But again, our goal is to have that energy from our nutrition and our lifestyle. And then if you need a little pick-me-up, you might want to add that in. doTERRA supplements, I've talked about these a lot. The Deep Blue is amazing. They have them in capsules, a rub, a stick, and an oil. I got that stick at all locations I am ever in. I have it here at the studio. I have it on my nightstand. I have it in my freezer at home. Like I mean, all the places, because you just never know when you need that kind of like icy hot relief. It's got those natural oils in it that can really help with topical issues or pain. So I really, really like those options. I had some information written down. I'm not going to be able to give you the specifics, but the MetaPower collagen, really high quality, clean collagen from fish, much cleaner than bovine collagen. It has 9 different types, so it's much more than the hair, skin, and nails. We're talking joint health, brain reduction in brain fog, overall energy increase. So don't sleep on collagen. The problem is you might have taken a really crappy collagen before. I'll just say it. So it's all about how your body is going to use these supplements. And if you're taking something that is not very bioavailable, meaning your body sees it and uses it, you lose it. It's going out where it comes out. And you're not just going to benefit from it. Sorry, that was graphic. Okay. So, and then we have the doTERRA protein. So I really like doTERRA's protein. That's what I use at my house, but I know some people don't prefer the I call it like a mouth feel, kind of like how it has that more thicker texture. So you can opt that in if you like more of a watery kind of protein instead of like that smoothie kind of consistency. I do mix this with water. Sometimes I put a little matcha packet in it if I'm kind of sick of the vanilla or the chocolate, and you have a totally different flavor. Wild orange can go in it. I mean, all kinds of things, and you've got a variety of different flavors. So those would be the options that I would choose from doTERRA, or that I wanted to talk about from doTERRA. So a few things to keep in mind here for your starter pack options. And I meant to put what these would total, but I did not. So one thing I did not touch on over here in your toning bundle, it has the doTERRA protein, the deep blue, your collagen. I also put in creatine, which I think probably everyone should be taking creatine. It's actually one of the most studied supplements in the world out there for its benefits, but just all around really great benefits to protein, to creatine, excuse me. And I think everyone should be taking it. And it's inexpensive. This one is like $31 for, you take like a teaspoon every day. So we can talk more about that afterwards as well. So I kind of created two little bundles here. One's talking about more if you're interested in like increasing your energy, maybe that's where you're lacking and you're like, I just got to get started and I want the tools to kind of help me along, to help with that motivation. You've got your energy bundle. Then next we have the toning bundle. These would be the things that I would recommend most people start when they start a training program. You need to increase your protein. You're gonna be sore, so you need the deep blue. Love on your joints. That's going to help with the collagen, and the creatine takes care of all of that as well, with helping build and helping your body build its muscle mass as well, and your recovery. That's the word I was thinking of. And here we've got the price list, pricing individually. So I think I put everything on there for the prices individually. Like I said, tomorrow, the Just Ingredients protein is going on sale, 20% off, and I have another code for 10. I'm 99% sure they stack. So that's pretty awesome because they normally don't stack on their sales. The doTERRA options, you know, we have the loyalty rewards program. If you're on that, you'll get points back with every order over 50 points. So that's really a great plus. And even in the Just Ingredients, if you're finding that you really like something from them and you need it regularly, they give you an extra discount if you order it, like on a subscription style. That can be adjusted anytime. So yeah. All right. So hopefully I kind of touched on everything for everyone and just gave you some pointers. It's like all we need is just a little help and a little bit of consistency. Of course, I'm here for you if you want to schedule a one-to-one, and I can even help talk you through your SMART goals, talk you through creating a plan. I do training online. You know, I do the functional medicine as well. So if you're dealing with some deeper things like hormonal health or gastrointestinal issues, I can definitely help out with that as well. So if anyone has any questions, now would be the time. I can actually stop sharing and even stop recording. Let me stop this Facebook as well. Bye-bye, Facebook. Okay, and I'll stop recording.